Good afternoon, gentlemen. Hope you're all doing okay. Now, today I'm going to talk to you lot about how to improve your social skills, your speaking skills, okay? Being able to speak confidently and fluently. Now, I'm going to make this all very quick and concise because obviously I don't want to waste any of your lot's time. I know you've got things to do. So, this is going to be a very simple sort of, there's going to be very simple points that I'm going to give. I'm just going to tell them very short, very brief. I'm not going to, obviously, like I said, I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to go into enough detail where you understand, but not so I'm like blabbering on. If you do want the in-depth and in-detail guide on social skills, so you're able to speak, as fluently as possible, with confidence, and, you've got all the little tips and secrets, everything there is to know to become someone who is good at social situations. Obviously, for this summer coming up, you're going on your lads' holidays, you want to be able to go talk to girls, you want to be able to do all this stuff, and just in general, it's a great skill to be able to go and create opportunities for yourself, okay? Being able to be good socially, people can trust you, people know that you've got, people know that you're confident in yourself, people know that you've been out there and experienced the world, because if you go out and experience the world, you improve your social skills, okay? That's not one of my points, but that is a good point. First, before any of my points I will make, that is a good point. Go out and experience the world, okay? Go out and do things. The more you experience, the more knowledge that you gain, the more knowledge you gain, the better your social skills are, because you have more to talk about and you have more things that you know about. If you know about something, you're going to talk more about it and you're going to be able to talk more confidently about that subject, okay? So that's the first thing that you can do, is just go out there and experience the world. That doesn't even, I know you lot are in this mindset of, oh yeah, that costs money. I have to go and I have to spend money on this holiday, and I have to spend money to go here and there and whatever. And I understand that, I get that, but I'm not saying make yourself go bankrupt, unlike, going to places. Obviously, yeah, there are things that come first. But if you've got a bit of spare money and you've got a bit of money that you can spend, go out and experience the world, bro. And at the end of the day, bro, you don't always have to spend money to go out and experience the world. You can just go out in your town and just go for a walk and go and just explore and just go and do shit. Just go out and do something, all right? Just something to really broaden your mind and give yourself some experience, okay? Just being in the world, all right? Now, the first point that I was going to make was, obviously, yeah, besides going out and experiencing the world and whatever, is the first thing you can do is, before you enter a social situation, all right, that you're going to be in, turn off your brain, all right? Completely turn off your brain and just kind of detach yourself from the outcome of it. Because at the end of the day, if you're thinking, right, let's say, let's think of any random scenario. You're about to go talk to a girl. Let's say you're there and you're like, right, I'm going to go talk to her now. And then you're sat there for like 5 seconds actively thinking about what you're going to say. Okay, and then you go over and you're still actively thinking about that thing that you're going to say. You're going over and then you're like, right, what's that thing I was going to say? And then what will happen is this will come across really nervous and really unconfident, and this will make it realize that you're not good in these scenarios, because you're having to consciously think. It will come across, the energy will come off. Whereas if you let your subconscious flow, then everything in life, if you let your subconscious flow, comes across more fluent and more confident, right? Okay, whatever it is, whether it's playing sport, okay? If you let your instincts flow and you let your subconscious mind take over, and when you're playing a sport, you play so much better, you play fluently. When you're speaking, okay? When you're speaking in whatever scenario, whether it's to a camera, to a girl, to a co-worker, to anything, when you're speaking fluently using your subconscious, okay? You talk more confidently, you don't stutter as much. When I talk to a camera like this, I'm not thinking actively about what to say all the time. I'm letting my subconscious flow. So what I'm saying is coming across more fluently and more confidently, okay? People listen. People are hooked onto your words, okay? That's a very important skill in life. That is one thing that will drastically increase your social skills, okay? And obviously, with that, your subconscious has to have stuff to feed off of. So that's where experience comes into play. That's where you going out and experiencing the world and are gaining some knowledge just generally in the world and about different topics and scenarios and whatever. Gaining that experience and gaining that knowledge allows your subconscious to flow more fluently, because your subconscious then knows what it's talking about, okay? Obviously, yeah, you can't go up and talk to someone using your subconscious if you don't know anything about it, because your subconscious has nothing to actually go off of, okay? It has no knowledge. It doesn't know what it's actually going to talk about, so it can't work properly. That's when you have to use your conscious mind, and then you're stuttering and you're thinking, because whilst you're thinking, that's taking up your mental energy. So you can't use that mental energy to talk well, can you? Okay? So you're going to be constantly there, like thinking about it and stuttering, going, if you're going in, if we'll take that scenario, if you're going and talking to that girl and you go up to her, right, and you're thinking about what to say, you're going to be like, what's your name? And it's just going to come across shit, bro. It's not going to work. And trust me, I've been in so many situations where I've like been actively thinking about what to say in some situations where, because obviously because I'm not experienced in whatever situation I'm in, and I'm not letting my subconscious flow, and I have no knowledge in life in general. I'm just stuttering constantly, mess my words up, make myself look an idiot. Always happens. One time I was in school. I used to do this all the time in school, right? If I had a feeling that the teacher was going to pick me, I was always scared because things in school, I didn't listen at all. I was never fucking paying attention. I was always thinking about something else that I was interested in, all right? And if I knew the teacher was going to pick on me, what would happen is I'd be there. Like, if she asks a question, she's like, right, I'm going to ask someone in 1 minute. I'm be there thinking about this answer, and I'm like, right, how am I going to say it? What tone am I going to say it in? I was thinking about all the little details because, as myself, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, all right? So I always like to get things perfectly right. So whenever I was in any kind of situation, it doesn't even have to be a social situation, it could be anything, but in social situations particularly, I wanted to make myself come off as good as possible, as confident as possible. So then when I knew the teacher was going to pick on me, I'd be there like thinking about it all the time, like, oh, right, okay, what am I going to say? How am I going to say it? And then when she'd pick on me, and she actually would say my name, right, Sam, what's the answer? I would not only be thinking about what answer I'm giving, but I'm thinking about the way I'm saying it and everything, and I'm just like, and I end up muddling my words up completely. I speak like too quick. I'm like, you know what I mean? And then I just make myself look an idiot. All right. So when you're letting your subconscious flow, you're just not thinking about it. When you're not thinking, everything comes fluently. Okay. All right. And just a little tip when you are speaking to really make people listen and to make people hooked onto your words. Obviously, yeah, sometimes you want to speak, sometimes you want to sort of mix up the speed at which you are talking, but talking slowly and just relaxing and calming down, okay? And just, being able to let your words actually come out rather than you just like speaking really quickly and then you end up kind of like muddling one up or something like that. People don't really listen as much, all right? People don't listen if you're speaking really, really quick all the time. Whereas if you're able to just talk slowly, all right, and concise and fluent, makes you, you're confident, it makes you seem confident in yourself, makes you seem relaxed. The more relaxed you are, if you're relaxed, people that are around you can also be relaxed, okay? People can, and then people, if people are relaxed, they can listen to you. People always want to listen to people who are confident and confident in themselves and people that know what they're talking about, okay? People don't want to listen to people that are stuttering 24/7 and speaking too quick because, number one, they can't even hear what they're saying. And number two, it just shows a lack of experience, okay? So, yeah, talk, I'm not saying talk really slowly so it just bores people, but just relax yourself. Talk normally, talk nice and slow so people can actually hear what you're actually saying, okay? And just relax into it. Then let your subconscious flow so you can talk fluently and concise, your words are heard, okay? Then your social skills, even just with that point alone, your social skills are massively improved, and then people listen to you and people just want to be around you, okay? Makes you more charismatic. You've got good social skills and you're charismatic, people want to be around you, okay? Makes your life so much better, I promise you. This is a skill that is so overlooked. People say like, oh yeah, no, I don't need social skills, I just need to make money and whatever. But at the end of the day, a large part of making money is having good social skills, okay? Because if you're, let's say you're in my position and you're on camera and you're trying to teach people something, you can't teach people something if people aren't listening to you. And the only way you're going to get people to listen to you and get people hooked onto your words is if you're speaking confidently and you're speaking fluently and you're speaking concise, okay? You know how to make people listen. You know what to do. You know how to look at them. You know how to speak. Social skills isn't even just speaking, it's all about your body language as well, the way you look at people, eye contact, all that stuff. It's all a social interaction is body language and also spoken word, all right? If you can master it all and really bring it up to a good level, that means your social skills overall are being brought up and you're just going to open up so many different opportunities for yourself, whether it's getting more women, whether it's getting opportunities for making money, whatever it is, making new friends, it just makes your life so much better. All right, so turn your brain off when you're in certain social situations. All right, just turn your brain off when you have to speak. All right, and just let yourself flow, let your subconscious flow, let your brain do what it wants. All right, and you'd be surprised at how fluently you just come across. Okay, couple that with going out and experiencing the world and going and doing stuff and going and just gaining some knowledge. That is giving your subconscious more knowledge to feed off of, so it can then speak more fluently. Do you understand that? I hope that makes sense to you, all right? It's very important 2 points. And another thing that I used to use back in the day, right? And this is probably when I was like, this is at a point where, let's say, you've not really got much knowledge in life. You've not done much. You're a very, very beginner when it comes to trying to improve yourself and improve your social skills, all right? And this is more what I used to use when I was just out in the street and I wanted to like just talk to random people, okay? Just to build my confidence up in general, all right? Because that was the process of me actually going out and experiencing the world, just going out and talking to people. But what I would do is apply something called progressive overload. Now, you will have heard that term being used mostly about gym, all right? And what happens when you apply that to the gym? Well, that's when, so you go to the gym and you lift some weights, right? So you do, I don't know, you do 10 reps of 10 kilograms or fucking whatever exercise. And so you do that, and then next gym session, all right, or the next week, you go and do that same exercise, but you maybe apply more weight or you do more reps, okay? You're basically making the exercise slightly harder, okay? You're overloading the exercise, all right? And you're doing that over time, okay? But you can apply this to social skills. If I was to go out in public and talk to someone, let's say I was walking past someone, all right? Maybe like level 1 of this social interaction would be me just walking past and nodding at this person, okay? That's like a really simple thing because you don't have to talk. You know, it's a very easy thing to just get the ball rolling in social interactions in public, okay? Me just walking past someone and nodding at them, right? Very simple. Then maybe next week what I would do is if I was walking past someone, I'd maybe nod and then say hello at the same time, okay? So that's a little bit more interactive. That's me doing something a little bit more challenging for myself, okay? And then when I get comfortable doing that over and over again, you know, maybe I'll do it 2 or 3 times so I'm comfortable doing that and I'm confident doing that and I don't get nervous doing that. Then I can go and, you know, next week or next time I go and do it, I can make it a little bit harder. Maybe I can just start a conversation with them possibly, or nod, say hello, whatever, and then go from there. Okay, it's just about, you know, there's not a set way of doing this. There isn't a set way of like progressively overloading social skills. You can do it however you want, okay? However you want and however long it takes, it doesn't matter. So long as you can start making yourself feel comfortable in doing these social things, these social interactions, whether it is just nodding. If you're not comfortable nodding at someone and you feel a little bit anxious doing that, just do that until you do feel comfortable doing that and then add in the hello. You might feel a bit nervous doing that, but then do it until you just feel confident doing that, okay? It's just good to get yourself comfortable with being social, being as social as possible, all right? I can give you all the tips and tricks in the world about, yeah, do this to speak confidently and do this and do this and do this. But like anything in life, you just have to practice and you have to do it over and over again until you feel comfortable doing it and until you get better at it. Okay, because at the end of the day, you're never going to get better at something if you don't just go and do it, all right? You have to do it. As very simple as that sounds, as very cliche as that sounds, that is really what it all boils down to, okay? All these little things that I'm teaching you is just things that are going to help, okay? Things that are just going to help you become that person, all right? That's what I'm all about. So, same with women. I can give you all the tips and tricks on how to, you know, all the game knowledge that you need to attract a woman and what to say to a woman and everything. But if you don't go and talk to them and don't actually put yourself in situations where you're around them, you're just not going to get better at them, okay? And that is probably the best lesson I can teach you, is just go and do it. It's go and practice, all right? I'm here to teach you a lot, all right? I don't ever want to give you lots of bullshit advice. I don't want to ever feed you anything that's just not true just so that I can look good or something. I always want to tell you a lot of the complete truth and tell you everything that I've done myself to bring myself to this point, all right? I know this because I've done it, all right? I teach everything that I teach you a lot through my own experience. So me saying, yeah, all right, turning your brain off is a good thing. Being able to go out and experience the world is a good thing. But you have to just be in social scenarios as much as possible. Go and put yourself in situations where you have to talk to people so you just get more comfortable doing it, okay? Again, if you want the full in-depth guide, all right, to social skills, if you want me to literally hold your hand through the whole process, all right, and become an absolute social master, okay, then link below, all right, my Instagram. If you DM me the word win, all right, we will go on a free one-to-one call, okay? So it's a 30-minute call. We'll go on that for free where you'll talk to me about your goals, whatever it is. It just doesn't have to be social skills. It can be, you know, you may have trouble with dating, physique, appearance, whatever it is, all right? We'll go on a call, discuss your goals, and we'll go from there, okay? Or you can book a one-to-one coaching call with me using another link below, okay? That's a 30-minute call. That's currently at a discount, as well as the one-to-one mentorship, which is done through my Instagram, okay? Both of them are at a discount, all right? So you need to get in now so that what we can do is we can work with you personally, so then you're set for summer, right? Summer's coming up. This is what we're doing. This is why we're doing these discounts. Is that we want as many people to come in and improve themselves so that in summer we're all the best versions of ourselves, right? We all want to be able to go out in summer and be as social as possible and as confident. We've all got good physiques, all right? So that's what I want for you lot, all right? So these are currently at a discount, all right? And they won't be at a discount for very long, okay? So make sure you get in there quick. The one-to-one mentorship does have limited spaces, all right, because it's me working very personally with you lot. I work very closely. I'm always on, we're always calling up. You can message me whenever you want. That is a very, that's a very personal kind of mentorship, okay? So that does have limited spaces. That takes up a lot of my time, all right? But any client that has actually interacted with that mentorship and gone through that mentorship will be able to tell you how valuable it actually is, all right? And that I know what I'm talking about and that we do get you results, okay? So I hope that's helpful for you, bro. I'll see you in the next one and have a good day.